ជាអារម្មណ៍អ្នកនឹងខ្ញុំដូចគ្នាយើងមើលគ្នាស្គាល់ព្រោះឈាមជ័រយើងដូចគ្នានេះជាសំឡេងចាស់ក្មេងស្ដាប់ឮដូចគ្នាឲ្យតែជាខ្មែរក្រុងស្រែជាបងប្អូនគ្នាអ្នកជួបទុកព្រួយ
Hi everybody, it's me Maria with Nail Nation on Facebook and Nail Nation 3000 here on YouTube. I wanted to do some tutorials that were a little bit more detailed regarding different types of nail art or types of nail design. And I wanted to start with the French tip and freehanding the French tip. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a base coat. And if you're going to use a base color like this, for example, or if you like to use creams and you want them to be under the white, you would put them on now and let them dry. You want to try to let them dry as much as possible before doing the French tip so that they will dry completely. The white is extra layers on the end of the nail. This is Essie Pink Glove Service and this is Essie Cherry Pop. And what I have on right now is actually 2 coats of the Pink Glove Service and 1 coat of Cherry Pop here. And it just looks really natural. It's not really a dramatic change. And these are very sheer, so they dry very, very quickly. And today I'm going to be using Butter London Cream Tea. And this is just a really nice, soft eggshell white. It looks truer on the nail than it does in the bottle. And I like this because it's a thinner polish, but it goes on nice and clean, and you can actually do 3 layers of this and it doesn't get as gummy as like some of your other white thick polishes do. And the other tip too is to make sure that your white is not sticky or gummy. Thin it with a few drops of lacquer or polish thinner prior to using them. White and black polish tend to cake up or get gummy, even chewy, a little faster than other polishes do because there's a lack of pigment. It's just pretty much the white and the black, so it's a little bit of a thicker pigment. So now that our base coat is completely dry, I'm going to show you how to create these smile lines, and it's actually super, super simple. You're going to take your brush, and you're not going to have too much on it. And you're going to go to the farthest corner of your nail and kind of go a little past the line of your free edge. And you're going to go across it with a little bit of an arch like this. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side at about the same point that you started on. And it's okay if you're a little bit off because it's not going to be perfect with the underneath line. And if you get any polish on your skin or anything, it's good to kind of remove it as you go. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of polish and you're going to fill in your missing spaces. And the reason you want to do it with the arch like that is so that you can get your corners in before you do anything else. Now, your first coat, it's going to look a little bit, you know, patchy. It's not going to be a real pretty line like this is. And you're going to give this a few moments to set. So your first coat will have a chance to dry before you get back to the second coat. Then what you're going to do is you're going to gently retrace your initial area here in the corner, but you're going to pull it straight off the nail, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. And if you miss anything, now is the time to kind of fill in that area. And then you want to take a little more and just gently come to the edge of your line there and pull it straight off the end of the nail. Now, depending on the white you're using or the look that you desire, you may choose to do 3 coats. And you also want to, of course, cap your end here if you especially are wearing acrylics. And I do like the look of 3 coats with this color. This is actually 3 coats here. Now what we're going to do while this is setting is I'm going to show you another type of French tip because I want this to be my accent nail. Now there's a way to do this as well for those of you who are not as comfortable completely freehanding your French. You can take some white with a striper brush like this, and we're going to do the V-tip or chevron French, and we're going to bring it across. We're just going to bring a line across from our furthest point, and then we're going to do the same thing off the other side. And then if you're going to cover up any more of your middle or where your point is here, you can simply fill it in just a little bit with the line. And what you can do now is you can go in, and you can do this with any color, and you're going to gently use that as a guide to polish your nails. Now keep in mind, if you're using a striper brush color that is a little different from the polish you're actually using, you may have to do extra coats to kind of coat your line. And we let this set, and we will go back over it with another coat. So now we're going to go back and do our third coat for those of you who are using a sheer color or just really like the look of 3 coats. This is also where you would add your shimmers or iridescent colors if you're going over your tip with an accent color, or you're doing any type of layering of polish. So now you're going to have your smile lines are all going to be pretty consistent, and we're just going to go back in just like we did the other one. And you want to be sure to follow your line that you created. And we'll let this set, and then we'll add our third coat. And then we can add our stones. Okay, so now that we've let the polish set, I've gone ahead and added the third coat on our chevron or V-tipped French. And you'll note too that if you do your smile line polishes first and you go back to this, or you're doing them in stages, you're going to see that after your cream whites, if you've top coated them already, they're going to be a little bit of a softer color than when you first put them on. So if you ever do a repair of a nail or repolish 1 or 2 nails because you've messed them up, you know, as long as you're using the same color with the same process of layers, which is the colors that you used underneath as well as your top coat, they will set to be the same color. So now what you want to do is, okay, so now that we've let our polish set, we're going to apply a liberal top coat. I'm using Sèche Vide. And for those of you that have had trouble with Sèche Vide shrinking, I don't know why I don't have that problem with it. The only thing I can think of is the fact that I use such a liberal amount and then drag it across the nail and then cap it with that liberal amount is the only thing I can think of that I might be doing that's a little different from, you know, maybe the way someone else is doing it. So now that we have top coated our first layer of top coat, I'm going to apply some gemstones up the center of our accent nail, just like little buttons. And some of you might like to use stones that have shapes or color. And what I like to do when I'm trying to get them on the nail is use a palette with a drop of top coat and an orange wood stick, and you just dip a little in there just so that it's on the tip, and you use this to pick up the stone. And I'm going to apply 4 stones, 1 at the very point of the nail where our French comes to a point. And we're just going to repeat this process 2 more times after this. And if you need to put some top coat on the nail for the stone to stick, just use your orange wood stick and put a little drop in its place. And that way you won't have too many layers of top coat. And you just pick them up and place them there. And then while your top coat is still damp, you can move them around or push them forwards or backwards and make sure that they are lining up. And depending on the shape of your nail, you may only get 2, or you may get 4, you may even get 5. So it's going to look like this. And then we're going to apply 2 more coats of top coat over our stones. Now the way I normally do it is I take an extra amount of top coat and I run across the stones gently so that there's sort of a mountain of top coat there. Don't worry, you're going to use a little bit more top coat and then you're going to gently smooth that out. So it's not going to stay bulky like that with a ton of top coat. And if you gently go between them with the brush, you can pull the little bit of excess out from between them. And it looks like this. And you're going to let this set completely before you apply the next coat of top coat. And you're going to find that your stones will stay on quite well. Oftentimes when you remove your polish, the stones will come off last when you apply them this way. If you're using nail glue to apply the stones, be very careful where you position them because the nail glue is going to set much faster than the top coat. Hopefully this was helpful, and thank you so much for watching.
Chia អារម្មណ៍អ្នកនិងខ្ញុំដូចគ្នាយើងមើលគ្នាស្គាល់ព្រោះឈាមជ័រយើងដូចគ្នានេះជាសំ